Yo, if you're new to the channel, thanks for watching Pond Saga 5. These right here are baby tiger shovel-nosed catfish. I have been trying to get my hands on these for a few months, but no one had any available. These bad boys are hard to come by. I haven't been able to get my hands on one of these for about maybe 6 or 7 months. These are little tiny things too, and I'm about to grow them out. When I say small, I mean they are tiny. I got them some feeder fish right here. I thought about just releasing them inside of the 10-gallon tank right here, but I figured it would make it a lot harder for them to be actually able to catch these fish. So this is what I decided to do. I decided to put them inside of a breeder box for the next few weeks so they can grow out in here and be able to catch their meals so they can survive. When you have monster fish like these at this size, they have to eat every day in order to live or they could die. While they're inside of here, I'm gonna feed them some cut up pieces of tilapia just so they can get used to that as well, so they can start to put some real size on. And I'm also gonna try to pellet train them at the same time. I'm so glad that I came across these because I've been looking for these for a while. Like, I have red-tailed catfish, but I've never owned a shovel-nosed catfish. Finally acclimated them and released them into the breeder box. They're alive, they're doing well, they're not stressed out, the water temperature is correct for them, and I hope that they, take advantage of eating all these feeder fish. By them being inside this breeder box, it should be no problem for them to get a meal. I just put some fish food in here to feed the feeder fish, and while they're coming to the top eating the food, I'm doing a quick count to know how many I have in here and to know how many are left over to make sure that they're actually eating. I've had them for a little less than 24 hours, but I'm glad to see that their bellies are full, which means that they've actually been eating the feeder fish and they have no problem catching them. You guys can't really tell, and the camera doesn't do any justice, but they have some really nice patterns on them. I'll be doing future updates on these guys, so make sure you stay tuned. On day 1, I got my baby tiger shovel-nosed catfish. It took me a while to get. I really wanted to get these guys. And I also know that these are monster fish and they grow fast. And I knew eventually that they would need more space and I would have to put them inside the actual 10-gallon tank. And I also knew that these are monster fish and they grow quite fast. So if I wanted to escape this tank, I would have to do it in a hurry or it'll be too late. I did a water change. I added some more feeder fish. And I also added some more sand substrate along with a couple of plants, some lava rock, some pea gravel, and also some river rock. This is water lettuce that I'm moving around right now. As you can see, one is a little bit bigger than the other. They've been eating really good and growing fast. Let's get them into their new enclosure. This right here is lava rock. This right here is pea gravel and a nyrate snail. This right here is river rock. This right here is jungle vallisneria. And these right here are water lettuce. The most satisfying part at the end of the day is watching how these guys love to swim in their new enclosure. They're gonna grow pretty fast, so this is going to come to an end soon. It's time for water change. Let's go. I'm going to perform a 50% water change because that's what I do every week. This device that I'm using is called a Python. Basically, it vacuums the substrate floor. This device is such a game changer. When I have had aquariums in the past, I used to have to go back and forth with buckets of water to remove the water out of the tank and to put water back in the tank. But with this device, I don't have to do that anymore. You hook it up to the bathroom or kitchen faucet and it's ready to go. Here I am checking on the temperature just to keep an eye on it to know what temperature the water has to be when it comes back into the tank. So this way I don't put the fish into shock. Now, back to this python. This made me want to enter the aquarium hobby because now it makes water changes a cinch. I don't have to hurt my back and I don't have to worry about spilling water all over the place. This has a lever to release water in and to suck water out, so it's super convenient. Peekaboo, I see you. This little guy right here is super inquisitive. He always likes to see what's going on and know what's going on inside of his enclosure. My other one, not so much. He prefers to be left alone. Let's speed this up a bit. Okay, now it's time to put some water conditioner in here to dechlorinate the tap water and also to put some beneficial bacteria in here so they can keep the environment healthy for the fish. This is a little hack that I use to measure the water temperature. Don't tell anybody. Let's just keep this between us. I hope I was able to teach you something today. I'm gonna finish this water change and I'll catch you guys next time. I went out to set some fish traps, but what I wasn't expecting was to catch 3 baby largemouth bass. I decided to keep them to bring them home and grow them out. All right, got my 1, 2, 3 largemouth bass and my 1 peacock bass in here. Lots of feeder fish in here to go around, as you can see, but I give it a few days and they won't be in here anymore. I also have my Synodontis catfish in there on the side. He's hiding. I got him in here for cleanup duty. I'm gonna try to pellet train these guys. I'm not sure how well that's gonna go, but I'm gonna try. But I also, at the same time, when I'm trying to see if they're gonna get pellet trained, I'm gonna need someone to clean up the bottom to get the leftover food, so then, you know, it doesn't settle in here and, you know, start clogging up the water and making it nasty. But yeah, I got the new hang on back filter back there, looking good. I modified it some. The video is coming soon on how I did that, so you guys stay tuned. This is my first time keeping largemouth bass, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I wish I would have done this a lot sooner. I've had peacock bass before in the past, but I've never had largemouth bass. I like how they blend into the background, and you know how they hunt for food, and you know, this is a really cool looking fish, man. I know they get super big, and that's what I got a pond for, but they're really pretty fish as well. These are really pretty fish. Like, when you put the right scape in here, you know what I'm saying, they look really good in here. And I know they're gonna grow super fast, and I can't wait. But I'm gonna stay on top of these water changes, and I'm just gonna try to, you know what I'm saying, keep them alive for as long as I can. Yeah, man, I'm glad I decided to put them in here. They seem really inquisitive as well. And by having multiple in here, I think it may be a lot easier to pellet train them, because I think once one starts to eat, you know, pellets or starts to eat cut up tilapia, I think the rest of them will kind of get the idea, rather than just having one in here to where he's gonna mess over the food. But if he sees everybody else attacking the food and having a good time, or if they see each other, you know what I'm saying, if they see another fish in here attacking the food and having a good time, they may follow suit, and it may be a lot easier than I anticipated. But also, I I think I'm gonna put my my shovel nose fish in here as well, because there's enough space in here and they have to grow out too. Because they're outgrowing their 10-gallon tank. So I think they may be ready to come in here as well. I think this is going to be a really cool tank, man. I probably can keep them in here for maybe 3 months, hopefully, depending on how large or how fast they grow. Maybe 4 months. These fish are they're pushing around 4 inches already. And this is a 75-gallon. So they got quite a bit of room in here to roam around and to not be fighting. Yeah. This tank is amazing, and I can't wait to put my tiger shovel nose fish in it. Let's go. They have outgrown their grout tank, so it's time for them to get out. Let go. These guys right here are getting too big. They're outgrowing their enclosure, and it's time to move them into another grout tank. Look at this guy. This guy is huge compared to when I got him. Okay, let's move you, buddy. Both of these fish have gorgeous patterns on them, and I'm so glad that I was able to obtain them, because I have red-tailed catfish and I have a red-tailed hybrid catfish, but I don't have any tiger shovel noses. Look at the pattern on this guy, he's beautiful. It did not take these guys long to outgrow their 10-gallon grout tank. I knew this would eventually happen because they are monster fish, so I was already prepared for this moment. I'm getting them acclimated now to put them inside of their new enclosure with some other fish. Hopefully they get along. Look at how good they look in this new tank. I have some peacock bass and some largemouth bass in here. Look at them. They don't know what to do with all this space. Look how they're swimming around in here. This is what I like to see. So they're swimming around right now, trying to get comfortable with their new enclosure so they can feel safe. And the thing that excites me the most about growing monster fish is when you put them in a big enclosure, the growth rate is limitless. So let the journey begin. Are you guys hungry? Because they are. And since these are monster fish, they have a monster appetite. Look at these little monsters. Even before the food touches the water, they're all ready to pounce on it. Feeding these little guys can get very expensive very fast. Look, the bass are eating, the Oscars are eating, the tiger shovel noses are eating. Look at that guy. Wow. These are indeed truly many monsters with big appetites. Whoa, slow down, little buddy. Looks like you bit off more than you can chew. Look at the water. The water is so pristine. The background plants are floating. The lava rock, the river rock back there. This whole tank is coming together with these monster fish. I'm so glad that I managed to get these bass off of eating feeder fish, because some of these feeder fish carry diseases, and you don't want your fish to eat that and then them get a disease or a parasite. Unless you're growing the feeder fish yourself and quarantining them and making sure that they're healthy for your fish, you know it's kind of a risk that you're taking. Also, by you getting them onto pellets, you can make sure that they get all the vitamins necessary that they need for growth, for color, bone structure. All that plays an important role in growing out your monster fish. If they're healthy and they have their vitamins, the less chances you have to worry about them getting sick and then you having to quarantine the whole tank. I don't like losing fish, especially not at this level in the game, because let's be honest, these tropical monster fish can be pricey if you're getting them online. Especially since the pandemic hit, a lot of these fish have been hard to find. And also, if you can find them, everybody wants them. And when there's more demand than supply, the price goes up. Yo, if you're new to the channel, thanks for watching Pond Saga 5.